Hello folks, we are continuing with the exercise 2.4. We had already finished the question number 1. Now we are moving to the question number 2. And in the question number 2, the question goes like this. Use factor theorem to check whether g of x is a factor of p of x in the following cases. Now here p of x and g of x, the divisor polynomial and the dividend polynomial both are given to us. We just have to check something like remainder theorem itself. In the remainder theorem exercise, we substituted the p value and we tried to check out for the remainder. Here same way we will find out the p value and check if it is 0, it is a factor, otherwise it's not. The idea is just the same. As I said, for factor theorem and remainder theorem, the working is just the same. The way you conclude and the reason you give is only going to differ. So that's our question number 2. Let's take the first part in which they give us the p of x. Polynomials are given to us. Here p of x is being given as 2x cubed plus x squared. It's 2x cubed plus x squared minus 2x minus 1. This is the polynomial, that is a dividend polynomial given to us, and the divisor polynomial is what is g of x, and it is called as x plus 1. We have learned earlier that the divisor polynomial, we are trying to get it equal to 0 as a little bit of rough work, and that's what is going to prompt us as to what p value we should be substituting. So that little bit of rough work let's do. X plus 1 becoming 0, so x becomes minus 1, and we are going to substitute the value of x as minus 1 and we are going to find the answer. So therefore, we are directly going to find out what is p at minus 1. P at minus 1, wherever x comes, there we are putting minus 1. You will get the value as 2 into minus 1 raised to 3 plus minus 1 raised to 2 minus 2 into minus 1 minus 1. We all know that minus 1 raised to 3 is minus 1, so this becomes minus 2, this is positive 1, this becomes plus 1, minus into minus plus, that becomes plus, this becomes minus. So minus 2 plus 2, they cancel each other, negative 1 and positive 1, they will subtract each other. So that way we finally get the answer as 0. Since the polynomial's value is 0, the divisor polynomial is a factor of p of x. So we can write, since p of minus 1 is 0, therefore g of x is the factor of p of x. And why we get this? We get this by factor theorem. If in case you require the reasons, then this is how you should reason, depending on the type of question that is asked. 1 mark, 2 mark, that way you have to think whether the reason has to be given or not. So depending on the mark distribution, you have to design your steps. We have the second subpart where it's given to us again. Here your p of x is given as x cubed plus 3x squared plus 3x plus 1, whereas g of x is given as x plus 2. Quickly I'll refer, x plus 2 becoming 0, x becoming minus 2. So we are going to find out p of minus 2 and we are going to see how it is going to work. P at minus 2 means minus 2 raised to 3 plus 3 into minus 2 whole squared plus 3 into minus 2 plus 1. So minus 2 raised to 3 we all know is minus 8, minus 2 into minus 2 minus 2, so that way it is going to be minus 8, and here it's 4, so 3 into 4 is going to be 12, and then it's minus 6 over here, then this is plus 1. So minus 8 plus 12 it's 4, and 4 minus 6 it's minus 2, minus 2 plus 1 it's minus 1, which in turn is not 0. We only want to know whether it is 0 or not, so it's not 0. So you will conclude that since p of minus 2 is not 0, therefore g of x is not a factor of p of x. Why we get it? We get it by factor theorem. So the reason is by factor theorem. If at all the question demands for a reason, then it is factor theorem by which this happens, right? Then we have the next sub question, which says that p of x is, here p of x is given as x cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 6. So let's write it down. It's x cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 6, and the g of x is given to us as x minus 3. The quick rough work, moment you get g of x, our next work is to get the rough work. So x minus 3 equal to 0, x becoming equal to 3. So we are going to find out the p value at this 3. So therefore you will have therefore p at 3. Making it 3 cubed minus 4 into 3 squared plus 3 plus 6. 3 cube we all know is 27. 3 into 3 into 3. 3 3s are 9. 9 4s are 36. And the plus 3 and the plus 6. So like it's a 27 minus 36. We all know it's minus 9. So it's minus 9 plus 3 is going to be minus 6. Minus 6 plus 6 is going to be 0. So like that, this is 0. Because it's 0, therefore you will have, since p of 3 is 0, therefore g of x is a factor. And the reason, factor theorem, is a factor of p of x. And what's the reason? The reason is factor theorem. So that's about the question number 2, where we have the 3 subparts. We are determining whether it's a factor or not. Now question number 3 is a different dimension. What they do is find the value of k if x minus 1 is a factor of p of x in the following cases. P of x is given to us, and it's also given that x minus 1 is a factor. The nature of the question is changing. All this time we were finding out the remainder, we were finding out whether it's a factor or not, but now they have given that it's a factor, but in turn the polynomial is not complete. There is something incomplete in the problem, there is something that's not given, and that not given part we are supposed to find out. That is what is about the next question. So it says that in the first subpart that x minus 1 is a factor. Every time x minus 1 is a factor, it's been given to us. So in the first subpart, they give us a polynomial x squared plus x plus k. So this is how the polynomial is, x squared plus x plus k. You can see the k there, which is not, it's not complete, the polynomial. They say that x minus 1 is a factor. In every case, x minus 1 is a factor. So it's been given to us that this is p of x, so we need not assume and all that. It's already given that this is p of x, and we have that little bit of rough work here. X minus 1 is 0, x is equal to 1, and this applies throughout the question. Why? Because everywhere the divisor polynomial is x minus 1. Now this is our p of x. We have traced out this, so we should find out what we know that we don't have to find out. In fact, p of 1 is 0 because it's already given that this is a factor. So we will say that here p of 1 is 0. Why? It comes by factor theorem. And p of 1, when we try to substitute in the given p of x value, this is our p of x, it's being given in the question that this is p of x. So p of 1 means wherever x comes, there we are substituting the value as 1. Like that, this comes to 1 squared plus 1 plus k equal to 0. 1 squared plus 1 squared, 1 plus 1, 2, k plus 2 equal to 0. The k value becomes minus 2 in the first case. The value of k is minus 2. So every time we have to find out the value of k, and it comes to minus 2. Next one, the polynomial that is given to us is the same idea. Polynomial that's given to us is 2x squared plus kx plus root 2. Same idea as we have done there, because you know that x minus 1 is a factor. We know that p of minus 1 is p of 1 is 0. We have to find out what's the value of k. So let's see what comes up. Therefore, since p of 1 is 0, why we get this by factor theorem? It's given to us by factor theorem. We have p of 1 0, and therefore when we apply it in the polynomial, it is 2 into 1 squared plus k into 1 plus root 2 equal to 0. 2 plus k plus root 2 equal to 0. In order to get the value of k, these values they are going on the other side. It will become minus 2 minus root 2. So your value of k is minus 2 minus root 2 when we work it out, or rather minus of 2 plus root 2. So that's about the k value in the second case. Then we have the third case where they give us a polynomial as, the polynomial is given to us as kx squared minus root 2x plus 1. Idea is the same. We know that this is being divided by x minus 1, and it is a factor. Because it's a factor, therefore by factor theorem it's clear to us here. We know that p of 1 is 0. Why we know it? We know it by factor theorem. And as as a result, it allows us to substitute these values. So it's k times 1 squared minus root 2 times 1 plus 1 becoming equal to 0. So like that, this value works out like k into 1 squared, it's k minus root 2 plus 1 becoming 0. In order to get the value of k, these values they go on the other side, root 2 minus 1. The value of k works out as root 2 minus 1. That is our third subpart. In order to move to the fourth subpart, let's have it here. In the fourth subpart, they tell us that p of x is, the p of x that's given to us is kx squared minus 3x plus k. Same idea, we know that x minus 1 is a factor over here, so p of 1 is going to be 0 and by factor theorem, and same working there, since p of 1 is 0 by factor theorem, so therefore it is going to be k times 1 squared minus 3 times 1 plus k equal to 0. So it's going to be k, 1 squared is 1, so k minus 3 plus k becoming 0, k plus k, it's 2k, minus 3 equal to 0, 3 can go on the other side, it will be, minus 3 is going on the other side, it will become 3 and k becomes 3 by 2. So the value of k that is required over here is minus 2. So in the last subpart, we get the answer, value of k as 3 by 2. So that is about the question number 3 of this exercise, and it's a part 2 video. The remaining questions will be taken up in the next video. Thank you.